Alright, so I'm gonna record in 60 and 30 FPS here. I'm gonna use my front facing camera. Just wanna see the differences and stuff because I've been recording a lot with the 60 FPS with the rear camera. So I want like a point of comparison again. It's been a while. It's the same day, second day. With all this shenanigans going on. So I'm just here doing my stuff. And I'm watching these videos from Wired. They're about like the first one I saw, like it was like explaining 5 levels, like kid, teenager, undergrad, grad, and expert professional about these concepts. Like the first one I watched was about quantum computers, and as a computer guy myself, I mean, even though I'm not really good at my field, dude, like watching that video about computer science, like there was one moment when one of the guys asked like how do programmers go around programming for the quantum computer, and then she started saying like like it's a very difficult thing, right? Of course, because it's like I personally there's no way I can wrap my mind around it, at least not yet. So when she said like we're trying to do levels of abstraction to create assembly code, so probably later like programmers can probably program in a very similar way as currently. Like my mind was blown, and all these things about qubits and superpositions and stuff, like things that I've already known before, but like seeing the model of the computer there, like trying to push to 0 Kelvin, of course, like it's not really easy, and how hard it is to, like their computers have like 50 qubits or something like that, and the algorithms and everything, and dude, okay, like my mind is blown right now. Like I'm super excited. I got this urge that freaking English. I haven't talked the whole day, so like my face is a little bit asleep, I guess. So I have this urge now to I really want to learn about computers. I really want to try to do good, try to help society. Because I saw all these videos, like this quantum computer one, which was amazing. I already know quantum computers were around for a while. I've known like there's some free ones that you can use online, but in the cloud. I've known about this stuff for a while, but I don't know, like seeing it again, seeing it like with other people involved, seeing like the progress of it, and like all the technical terms that it just gets me really excited. Then there was this one about that this one blew me a little bit. It was called Connectome, I think. Connectome, which like the intention is to map every neuron, every connection, everything, try to simulate or map all the connections in the brain. And it's so bizarre because okay, let's say you can do that perfectly. Like they said that they will like slice with like a micro electron something, and then they will scan all the layers and then use a computer to like put them back so they can simulate exactly a brain. Probably, I mean, it's gonna have some variance and stuff, of course, but you can have like a pretty complete model of the brain. And then one of the things that the guy said was that, and this is something that I really think that it's affecting like our advancement on many topics, because I mean we just kind of grasp a lot of concepts. Our brains like have some pretty heavy limitations, because like for example he said that okay, let's say that they map everything, and then you have all these connections and all these little things, and you end up with a data set so huge that parsing it, like understanding it's nuts. It's completely crazy. You definitely need algorithms and machines and computers to take care to take care of that for you. But first you need to come up with the algorithm. Like, how does the computer know what the data set is telling you? And this is some crazy stuff. Like, and everything comes like connecting. Also like genome editing. I was looking at one about genome editing and these kind of things. And you know, I think generally lately, like one of the things that really is keeping us from improving a lot is, you know, just grasping. Like, that reminded me of like ray tracing, or like, for example, 360 VR experiences. Like, yeah, I mean, like, you can just take like a 360 camera or whatever, and then you have all this video, this raw data. And what do you do with it? Like, I remember, I don't know if you guys know this channel. It's kind of a gaming thing, like gaming computer analysis, desktop kind of thing. It's kind of a gaming channel. They do reviews and stuff. And then at one time, they tried to make, I think, like a benchmark of like VR games or something. And you know, the amount of data is so huge. Like, what, you don't even know what to do with it. That's the issue. You don't even know what to do with all the data. For example, let's say like you have the quantum computer and you have all these superpositions, you have all these things and blah blah blah. But what do you do with the data? Then you have the connectome thing. The imagine you can perfectly make a brain, and you have like your perfect adult brain in a computer simulated. Then what do you do with it? What do you do with it? Like, it doesn't have legs, it doesn't have arms, it doesn't have eyes. It's not able to think for itself. It's just a bunch of electrons, bunch of electronics, and it will just puke, print out so much data. And what do you do with it? There's nothing to do with it. Like, we don't know. You'll have to. He mentioned, I think, at one part. He said that it would, like, with all the humans alive, like with all the humans alive, analyzing all the data sets coming from just a mouse or a rat brain, it wouldn't be sufficient. So, I mean, could you imagine analyzing data sets of human brains? Like, how do you even come about it? Like, okay, yeah, there was this electrical interaction in the synapse between this and this neuron, which triggered this, and you have like this map, like one connection, or like one reaction, one movement. And you also need to consider like the neurons that we actually have in like our nerve system, like from the spine to all the way to our arms and stuff. So yeah, you have like that data, and then like, okay, so what does it do? All the data, and this is a problem that's been around for years. I'm not saying it's anything new. Like that's what science is about. Like, trying to predict something with prior knowledge and prior data. And you can have a bunch of data, but if you don't know how to parse it, you don't know how to interpret it, it's almost worthless. It's absolutely not worthless. It's never worthless. But until you don't know how to interpret it, you're not gonna do much. And that also reminded me of this. There was this channel thing, Great Big Story, I think it was called. They put this 4-part documentary about Cicada 3301. Just this like, this is like this puzzle, internet puzzle, and then it ended up with the Liber Primus, 58 pages, and it was like decrypted. They're only been able to decrypt 2 pages, I think. So it's this huge thing, and like, I remember like they were like, how to say, they were interviewing like a group that's trying their best to like crack Cicada, the Liber Primus. And you know, it's the same thing again. Okay, like they have like a bunch of statistical analysis about like how many times the runes appear, and you have these huge amounts of data, just data and numbers and data and data and data, and you have raw data, rows and rows and rows and millions of data. But what do you do with it? How do you parse it? How do you interpret it? It's such a big deal. And but yeah, like I don't know, the quantum computer, the connectome thing, it really got me excited. Like, you know, the future is looking interesting. Genome editing with the, what was it called? Crackle? I don't remember the name. I really don't remember the name. What's the name? Let me search for it.
My topic is
CRISPR. This CRISPR is like a genome editing thing, and oh jeez, it's crazy. And it's the same kind of thing. Like, okay, like you got all, imagine you get the data of a human being, all the genome of one human being. But then the next human being, it will have some differences. And like once you get like try to get all the data, and then you account for mutations, and you account for like things like ultraviolet light that fucks up like ionizing radiation, or shits like that fucks up things. Like there's so many things that we cannot grasp, and we definitely, you know, like we already do it. Like we always leave this kind of work with the computers, supercomputers, and these kind of things. So I mean, of course I'm talking obvious stuff. This has been around for years, but right now I'm like my brain is like constantly working at it. It's like right now I have this urge to like actually learn more about my computer stuff, learn about my quantum computer stuff, learn about these things. Because, yeah, why not? Why not be better? Why not have a better society? Why not help more people? And that's the way to do it, I think. There are many ways to do it, of course. Like, just building a family, being a good neighbor, being a good citizen is good enough. But this really gets me excited. And you know, again, with the parsing of the data and stuff, like, for example, like, it's so amazing about relativity and quantum mechanics. Like, it's crazy how their models can predict so many things, even accounting for so many variables. Like the world. Okay, we can have this topic for another time about free will and you know the interconnectivity of every part of the universe, like which means like, you know, like chaos theory, the kind of thing that, you know, like the way things are not because we are conscious and we are human beings and we have willpower, but it's because of like the specific interactions of every particle in the universe, like just made this happen. And you know the way to grasp that, it's so crazy. Like somehow we are able to understand it, right? But just imagining like how the wind comes from the fan, like, but that fan is powered by like a motor which comes from the electricity, and where does the electricity come from? It comes from a generator. It's going all the way there, and it's going through a cable, a current. Maybe the power is generated through I don't know, probably water, probably a water pump. It's not a pump. And then the water, where did it come from? And it's too much. Again, we have too much information, and computers are really helping us to grasp, to try to parse, to try to interpret it, but it's an arduous task. And you know, I really want everything to be better. So let's try to learn, I mean, I'm not great, so probably not gonna do much, but I'm really, really excited with what the future has for us. Probably not gonna be alive for most of them, but I mean, it's exciting to see it in progress. Like seeing these videos, the quantum computer, this stuff really make me like, wow, this is cool. This is really cool. I really want to be a part of it. I really, really want to be a part of it. I mean, let's do it, man. That's how it is. Gotta do it. And I mean, see, and I hope you learned something. Maybe you know all of this. Maybe you don't know anything. Maybe my explanations are absolute garbage, which is fine. Just feel free to point it out. Hopefully, I'll get better about this. But yeah, I hope you learned something. Maybe. I mean, thank you for your time and see you in the next one.